Good afternoon, all. Thank you for joining our today's webinar on effectively using design reuse blocks. I'm Saira from Designs Microsystems, working as a team lead idea for the EDA products. And today's webinar is under recording. If anyone having any questions during the presentation or during the demonstration, you can please type your question in the chat. We'll discuss at the end of our session. Now, let us get started. Now, today's agenda, we're going to discuss about how we create design based blocks and how you can use the block placement. And we're going to discuss about the tips for using the blocks, to use blocks effectively, followed by a demonstration, and we will close the session with Q&A. First, I want to quickly go through what is design reuse block. It's a managed sector fragment with the schematic and PCB synced together. Remember, snippets, it is a kind of the expect. It has additional synchronization function to PCB. That's all real defines the use block. So when you make this, you need to make sure that both schematics and layout portions are available for utilization. So to create a new block, go to design use panel. What will happen? A new use block will be appear when you can manually create your circuit by copying and paste it from the existing design. Also, if you have existing snippets, you can also place those in the new reuse block project to create a new managed reuse block. Reuse blocks lets themselves great when working as a team by managing your reuse blocks in Alt365. Can be utilized by different experts and your team. One user can create large schematic, another define a physical layout, and later someone from your team can use them as a reuse blocks in design. You don't have to do segment creation like this. One user can create the entire reuse blocks. One person have experience with power supply design. He can create your reuse blocks, and all the reuse blocks are put to the alternative workspace, and then it can be went through the approval process. Once on the workspace, a user can place it on the design, and it can be done within Team Designer. Once placed, you can replace and reposition the circuitry. This is not a read-only file. You can be restructured. Now let us discuss about the reuse block placement. So far, we only mentioned that they can place circuit fragments in schematics that normally appear, but all being with the components like it shown on the left part of the slide. But what you can do also place a reuse blocks in the schematic sheet as a sheet symbol. If there are any ports on the reuse blocks, they will appear automatically on the sheet symbol like this. By adding the reuse blocks as schematic symbols, you can create the hierarchical design. Now let's talk about what you can do with the reuse block after when you place it on the project. Firstly, we can move the and rotate the components and connectors. Second, you can add additional components to the block fragmented. And third, you can add and change the connections between the components. But what we cannot do is we cannot remove the components from the reuse block. Technically, you can delete them, but you lose the synchronization between the schematics and PCB in the reuse block, meaning you don't have the reuse block anymore. You can delete when you delete a component, then delete the reuse block, then you're left with normal components. So when you update your load, that all of you have, they are not being laid or routed. Now let us have discuss about the tips for using the reuse blocks effectively. The first thing is you need to make sure the ENET is associated. You don't have any use bytes. Make sure that you are using the net labels and ports. Remember, ports in your schematic is translated as a ports on schematic sheet symbol if you wish to place the use blocks in the way. Today, advantage of directives. The design directives are objects that placed the way they specify the instructions to pass it onto the PCB. With directives, we can be able to define differential types, necklaces, and some design rules. The third thing, we can make sure we use a components from ID65 library. It is specifically through the copying and pasting the layout fragments from third-party project. It will ensure that it work correctly. For example, you are using ActiveBomb document, you will have the all advantages of working with managed library like revision, life cycle, and waived functionality. The fourth thing is not to forget about snippets. You can save your logo, title work, and same circuitry, layout, and schematics sync together. The fifth tip how we have to do it is polygons and pads. I recommend that you can configure the connections for the pads to polygons in the use blocks. Otherwise, when you are going to place your block in your project, the connections are handled by destination design tools. What will may not be exactly what you expect. The next tip is to run the DRC check when creating a block. Before you run the DRC, you need to create some sort of design rules. It will take a bit of time, but avoids doing the mistakes when you are someone else going to use these blocks. The seventh tip is you should have the block when saving to the Authenticator workspace. Last tip is we can remove the components around, but you need to break the unions. Now let us see a quick demo how we can able to create and use these blocks in our designs. Now let us switch back to the Ultimate Designer. Yes, now we're in Ultimate Designer. I hope you have to see my screen, I believe. Yes. Here I have a design open, and we can see I got the schematic sheet and a PCB over here. And you can see this kind of a character mode. If you take a close look at this design, you can see there are connectors are of silver circuitry. This, and this one, and these two having the almost identical, but these three and this one four connectors are the identical circuit. And also we have a interface connector over here. That means instead of drawing it circuit for one time, you can have if you have a design to use block, you can play the circuit, and you can able to complete it faster. And if you assume that this kind of character will be useful for you for your upcoming designs, you can also create them as a reuse block. And with this reuse block, you need to repeat the read or circuit multiple times. Just you can able to place multiple times the same design will be updated to the PCB, which will save your time a lot. Now let us see how we can create a design use block from this circuit. First, to create a design use block, we have this logical explanation of this physical design. We have here the four connectors. With the use block, you don't need to draw multiple times, just place four times, automatically the placement updated as I told. Now to create a design use block, as I have showed my previous webinar, just go to panels and we have a design use is being replaced by snippets. Although snippets is being replaced, we can still use snippets by using this user base panel. We have a few options where you can able to store and manage your snippets and use blocks in the cloud. And also you can also store your snippets locally. Here we have a few snippets which are on the cloud. We have logos of a company. There is no need of searching for a company logo. You can have a snippet in our cloud, and whenever your colleagues want, they can use it this logo from the snippets. And also we have few reuse blocks. Here you can see the security logo and all together will be shown here. And we have the circuit, you know, to see the schematic and PCB. And the same way, we are having a schematic reuse block. We can able to place the normal circuit, or you can place it as a sheet symbol, which we can see this is a flat design. By using this kind of sheet symbol, you can see we have got the ports which are actually sheet entries on the sheet symbol. Now this design is counted as a hierarchy design. With the help of the schematic used blocks, we can able to create hierarchy designs as. Okay. Now let us go on how you can create a design as block we'll discuss. Now to create the project design to use, we have to click on creating a new project for the design to use. There a new reuse block project will be created with schematic and PCB, which we are going to store in the cloud. And this is our circuit which you want to use it for our upcoming designs. Now let us select this, and we don't want these connections to be selected because we want this circuit to be have. It is until these connections, and we have this circuit in hand. This uh, and then just copy this, and we need to go here to the R schematic sheet where we have that reuse block project. Just paste it here. And as I told, we need to have the post to be created so that the ports will be active, the sheet entries and the sheet symbol. Now let us create some ports for the design. For the, we made this post as input, output, and for power. Now let us place some three ports. I just place it here so that we can minimize the space. Be easy to place anywhere. Now let us make it as this one. Let us rename it as a power. Okay, and I'll place some wire on this three, a small wire, and we'll make this as a power, and we'll place this here, and we'll make it as a input and out. Okay, now we'll place this input net level here. For this net level out, out, in, in. Okay, like this, we need to create some ports, and we need to get this connected. Now we need to place the associated. Now we have the logical design completed. Now we have to place associated physical design on the use block project PCB. For this, we need to go to the circuit. Here in RTM, we have got a cross probe where you can have to cross probe to schematic and PCB, and we have cross selection mode, which will help you to select between the schematic and the PCB. By this cross selection mode, when we select the associated circuit on the schematic, associated circuit will get highlighted on the PCB. Okay, this is where it was selected. Now let us copy this the circuit, and then we will just go to the PCB. And here, we have to use some kind of intelligence. We want the net names to be retained. For that, we use this option is special to have this keep net name and push it on the sheet. Now, once you have the sheet placed, when you go to three, but we need this circuit, and we don't want the other portion. We need to remove, and also we need to trim the polygon which we don't require. So we require a polygon. This portion only the polygon is required. Rest all we don't require. Let us trim the polygon by using the slice of polygon option available inside the RTM. Just right mouse click once the polygon is selected and go to polygon selections and click on slice polygon port and just start slicing it out. And let us zoom in as much as we can. Sorry. Yes. Now the polygon is printed. If you want to be able to do some changes, then delete this, and then whichever you want as a field, you can keep it and you can delete the unnecessary things. You don't want this one, you don't want. and we need to run this the track which we have not run. That is number the routine, and then make sure all having proper nets associated, and just report the polygon. Yes, now the polygon is report, but if you notice here, we have some kind of relief connection associated with this pads. Now let us change it. As I told, we need to do some settings, and we need to change this to direct, and even for VS also, we need to do this by this functional objects. And then there's a polygon. Yeah, I think this VS which are not required for us. Let's remove this. Then record. Yes. Mm, essentially making that's tools polygon codes before all. Yeah. Yes. So we have got the all the polygons before. And here we can also do one more thing. We can have the multiple images of the PCBs. Like we can have different variations of the PCBs, like one with polygon core and one without polygon core. Now let us I have one more PCB add to this one. Just copy this and we'll just remove the polygon to the bottom layer. And before that, make sure this polygon having net associated, which is power. Yes, VCC file is not power. Yes, it's been associated. And before doing this, I forgot to mention that we need to synchronize the schematic in the PCB, which is very important. I'm sorry, I forgot to do this, which is very important. For this, first we need to do the component links. Just add spade master by using the designator. Yes, once match, just need to import changes, which will make sure all are in sync. Now, yes, it's been powered. Yes, that's great. Then now copy this again, and then go to the new PCB where you have the variation, and we paste it over here. And here also I'll do the same thing. I need space special, keep net name, paste. So net name remains same, and delete the layer, and then sync the schematic and the PCB. Now both these two all are in synchronized together. Now it's time to save this reuse block file to the server. Now let us save to server, and just give some name, meaningful name, and a meaningful description to help your colleagues who are going to use them understand better. Then click OK. Now it's going to store in your design. Yes. Now it's been successfully pushed to the cloud. Now let us keep it aside. Let us try to place that the use design tools here, how it looks like. We got the panels design reuse, and by seeing the today's date, it is 26. Yes, I have. Um, yes, standard use block. This was done by me. If you come here, you can see the circuit and PCB. If you click on PCB, you can have see the two variations. The one with copper, for example, one with copper. We can place the two variations of the design. Now I can place this as a C symbol, the first variation. A sheet symbol can see when you place a sheet symbol can able to see the 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 codes which are there in the schematic sheet are not a sheet symbol. Now we will connect these inputs and outputs to this thing by making this label SCL. STA and SCL. Okay, now let's copy this and paste it over there. And you can make this two port these two are connected. See here, okay, see the connection matrix. That is be able to create the sheet blocks can be placed and you can able to map to the existing design. If you want to place double click, you can able to see that here. Okay, now let us go ahead and create a new project and how we can be able to create the those variations of PCBs what to create. Now let us. I have picked one a example project. I have the schematic and PCB with NT. Now we'll go ahead and we'll place those use sheets. Before we place, we need to enable one thing under the schematic graph routing. We have to enable this option. Reset part designators. We have to assign a unit designator to the complex because we are going to place multiple times. We have to enable the option to set the part designator to paste. After that, go to panels and go to views, and you can select which variation you want. I just want the first variation, first one, and second variation. Okay. Now, once you have placed this, you need to do the annotation. Further go to tools, annotation, annotate schematics. Sorry, schematics. Just update changes, and you can observe the process. I think you all know all this. Just click on accept changes, review changes. Now, see here we have got the unit designated. And yes, for PCB and gold design, unfortunately project. You can see about the two circuits, one with polygon, other with the polygon. We need to report this polygon. Yes. Okay. Like this, you can have the different variations of, and here also we have to pour all polygons. We pour yes, see all polygons report. You can see two connectors which has been imported. Screens are quickly with variations with comfort with pop. This is how we have to quickly and easily save our time with help of design interface block. And we have to spend some time in assigning the polygon for the connect style and assigning design rules and verifying the yes. Yes. That's all about Apple's webinar and effective using design use blocks. We'll go back to our presentation. Yes. To summarize today's webinar, we have showcased you how we can able to create the use blocks from existing design and how we can place as a use sheet symbols and how we can able to create the different variations of the PCB. And we have talked about some tips of using the design use blocks. Yes, we are